Buck Sexton, co-host of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show and former CIA analyst, joins me now. Is this crazy what I'm saying? Am I crazy, Buck?
No, not at all. I mean, especially if you're going to do a comparison with the evidence that Russia-Trump collusion was in any way real. I mean, let's understand, somehow all of a sudden Russia might invade Ukraine under Joe Biden's presidency, of course, and we're quite quiet for the most part on those issues under the Trump presidency. When you look at what Joe Biden right now is doing, the decisions that he's made, just look across the board. He has made it easier for the cartels to smuggle people in the United States, enormously lucrative for them, by the way. He has made sure that they are spread all over the country when people come into this country illegally. He's made sure that at a number of levels, the American people aren't even aware of what's going on. So if he was in intel speak, Jesse, ex-CIA, if he was an agent of influence, he's doing a fantastic job. He's making sure people think the border is supposed to be secure, but it's not.
And this is what they said during the Trump administration. Anytime Trump would say, oh, listen, I'm going to have a summit with Putin. Let's see if we can work together. They said, oh my gosh, he's a traitor. But Biden is effectively working with the cartels, helping them smuggle people into the country to the benefit of his donors, to the benefit of the Democrat Party. The profits get washed in China. Biden's soft on China covers up the lab leak there. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to put this together, Buck. If I can put this together, anybody can put this together. Is anybody looking into this?
You have to wonder at what point it's too much for the American people, the dishonesty about what's happening at the border and the federal government under Joe Biden, the Biden regime's refusal to do anything about it. And when you see the way that this could provide some kind of benefit, I mean, you have to wonder, do they have some code name for Biden? El Viejo Loco or something? I mean, this is a guy who clearly is, if the cartels were being polled, going to be the favorite president they've had in a very long time. Because remember, Trump shut it down, right? He actually shut down the illegal crossing into this country. Biden comes in, says he's going to halt deportation, says he's going to kick the doors wide open. I mean, I got to tell you, I don't know, Jesse, is his favorite liquor tequila? We got to start asking some questions here.
I mean, yeah, El Presidente numero uno. And you mentioned Trump. I mean, that's a good point. So he locks down the border the best he could. He designated, or he threatened to designate, the cartels as terrorist organizations, started a trade war with the Chinese, went after fentanyl pretty hard. And then all of a sudden, all these other powerful forces throughout the country conspired to just get that guy out of there, lickety split. It makes you think, was he onto something? And there's a lot of money trafficking through our southern border. Does it have to do with the fact that Mexico is our biggest trading partner besides Canada? There's just too much money at stake to really go after the cartels?
Again, if we're using the standard set in the Trump years, you had the president accused constantly by the Democrat media apparatus of collusion with Russia. Meanwhile, back in reality land, there were a couple of hundred Russian paramilitaries blown up by the U.S. in the Syrian desert. They were threatening Kurdish allies.
Yeah.
We actually had the Trump administration send over sniper rifles and Javelin anti-tank missiles to the Ukrainians, by the way, which the Obama administration, which Joe Biden was, of course, a part of, was too afraid to do because it would anger Russia. So that's on the one side, Russia collusion. On the cartel collusion theory you were putting out there, Jesse, he couldn't be much more helpful to them, because if it were more obvious that he was doing the bidding, or rather doing things in the interests of the drug cartels across the border, then there might actually be consequences. No, it's the worst of all possible situations where Biden makes the border wide open, makes sure the cartels are richer, more powerful, more influential than they've ever been. We had our worst year ever of drug overdoses in this country last year, and Biden just looks in the camera kind of beady-eyed and starts whispering something, and people say, I guess he's on it. He's not, actually, and he doesn't really care either.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, I'm not accusing him of conspiring with drug cartels and the Chinese. I'm saying I'm connecting the dots here, and there's just a lot of questions that don't add up, or maybe they do add up. Because if I were president, I just launched drone strikes against the cartels and special forces operators, and I'd do something about it.
He's clearly not on the payroll of the cartels. This is not a Ukrainian energy company, Jesse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's only certain people.
Maybe Hunter's working for the Sinaloa cartel. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, but you never know. I'm kidding. All right, Buck Sexton, CIA analyst.
I'll look into all of it, though.
I know. I mean, the CIA was involved, they say, with some stuff down there in the 80s, but we don't like to talk about it. Buck, thanks so much, and check out Buck's radio show.
Thanks, Jesse.